Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to this new edition of the morning briefing. Well, let's do a recap of what happened yesterday in short. Days that continue to be extremely volatile and fluctuating due to the succession of these statements, and in short about the situation on tariffs. Yesterday in the afternoon, we witnessed yet another turnaround in short, with markets that surged upwards in a huge and aggressive manner. In short, as I wrote yesterday in the chat, we are witnessing historic days. So utmost attention, utmost caution. I will never stop reminding you, because in short, we are truly facing, let's say, a historic moment. So we'll see in a bit. Yesterday, this statement from Trump arrived with the freezing of these tariffs for about 90 days, except those towards China. They are needed practically to bring everyone to the negotiation table to somewhat dictate the terms of these agreements that are on the horizon. We will see what the scenarios will be, what these agreements will be. It is difficult at this moment to make predictions, so we are navigating by sight, and above all, we remain very focused and with absolutely reduced sizes. As I have said over and over again in these days, from a point of view let's say of data, today is still an important day. In short, on Thursday, there's the American CPI data, which will certainly be able to give us some indications. Then the earnings season begins with the financial sector, and it seems to me that tonight there is JP Morgan. In short, they already start tonight. I don't remember all of them well, but it seems to me that tonight there is already JP Morgan. So certainly a moment. It is very, very delicate. There are more converging data also on Bunds and open war. Yesterday, there was the auction of the American 10-year, which went quite well. In short, there are various different elements that can potentially determine the scenarios from here to the coming months. We will see what might happen. From an operational point of view, let's start with the Nasdaq. As we usually do, in short, at the moment, the strong upward push from yesterday has brought prices right up to the area of 19.3, 19.5, with a bit of retracement happening tonight, which is currently gaining a bit more momentum. But essentially, we are in a range. After all this rise, a bit of retracement is quite normal. However, if we look at the charts, some slightly broader time frames, then maybe we'll look at a daily chart just to give you an idea. Let's say that we can feed this as a retracement of this second wave, which is essentially about 50% of the entire movement. So from here, a third bearish wave could also form, or the market could continue perhaps during these periods until these agreements are reached. For example, remain above, anchored, uncertain in certain ranges, even if rather wide, because the volatility, I repeat, continues to be high. The volumes are enormous. So this is essentially the situation. Let's say more in detail for today. Let's look at the 5-minute chart. Here it comes. We are working at this moment. We are dissolving under SD1. So already, in short, the day seems to be taking on good volatility. We're talking about approximately 200 points between SD1 and SD1, where we are now. So there is volatility. In short, the swings are wide. What levels should we monitor today? At this moment, in short, the range is very wide. There has been a strong volatility that It's difficult to decipher. Only one entry point. Let's say that by going through areas at this moment, the important one in short is to keep this 18,720 roughly. Also coincides with the SD2 area with these lows here and these highs here. So this is the area to monitor for as far as any potential range downward or upward is concerned. In short, I would specifically monitor the area where it has formed. These two levels, BC3, have formed. So right there between HW and RD0. A break of this level obviously could certainly bring prices into the 20,000 area with ambitious targets, because the Nasdaq, having reached round figures, always likes to make significant excursions. It could easily aim for 20,000, 22,000. We'll see based on the volatility at the time. This volatility could also decrease or perhaps follow due to some news. We need to be attentive and monitor, follow step by step. We shouldn't be the first to enter and the last to exit. Perfect. Having said that, for the Nasdaq, let's move on to OS. In short, a more or less similar situation. We have some points a bit lower, let's say 3 to the C, rise 3, 4, 85, 35, 20. In short, 5, 5, 4, 85, 54, and 20 are the levels to monitor, which then coincide. You see with this red line that was in short drawn some time ago, 5, 5, and 60. So this is the area to monitor for when the wheels regarding a potential breakout upwards or downwards. In short, here too, we are going to monitor SD2, which then coincides with this last retracement here. And then in short, the test of these highs here. So this is the area to monitor potentially for a bearish breakout, downside targets. With this volatility, I do not exclude a possible new test of these BC3 levels as the same or could happen on another. With this volatility, we must be ready for anything. We have moved since yesterday following the news, Trump's statements, from 5,000 to 5,400 of S, 400 points. A lot going on, guys. Perfect. Let's move on to the Dow Jones. Here it comes. Perfect. Situation more or less similar. We are exactly at these levels. Here it could either break or test this area. Here as well, this is the area to monitor to the downside for a potential bullish swing completely. Here perhaps a sideways movement in this instance, awaiting the opening of the American markets. It could also be like this, the scenario of the European morning, potentially upwards. Of course, we are monitoring the area of 42,700, 43,000. This is definitely the target area that can more or less coincide with this peak here, which is the last peak before the last decline. Clearly downwards. Here it is. Here, in short, this is broken. In short, we have this one here. In short, the VIX and one area at a minimum, which can certainly act as support, which we can identify between 39.5, 39, 39.5, 39.7. So we monitor these two areas closely. The same goes obviously for the Russell. In short, the charts, they are very similar. Here it is. The laser is already resting. You see on these boulders here. So in short, the holding of these highs here and here could mean that the area of 1800, 1885, 1800, 1900 probably, in short, needs to hold in order to, in short, allow for another attempt to attack the area of 1900, 1940, in short, which then represents this area of highs. We'll see. We'll see. Let's move on to oil. Here it is. Here, it too, in short, has made a monstrous upward surge, going from 56 to 62. In short, $7. That's a lot, guys. At the moment, in short, it's already deflating quite a bit. It's already testing SD2. Let's monitor it because it could definitely be, in short, a little bird in short in the mine. In these situations, it's testing, in short, precisely these levels here. This is our support level, mini 60.5. In short, the area to hold is 60.5. 60 is the area to hold. A potential hold of this area could lead to a recovery. In short, a rise in stock indices could easily bring the price even into the 64, 65 area easily. Let's look at gold, which also this time has made a nice jump. In short, or upwards, still remaining, and it hasn't updated the historical highs. However, it has resumed navigating within that wave of retracement that we have pointed out many times. It is heading towards the upper part of this retracement wave. And so once we get here, if it gets there, we'll see if they have the strength to break through and mark the highs. Let's look at SPX and see if they will just very much. Let's look at the 4-hour chart that we have more times reported in this morning briefing. Here it is, always the same. This is the retracement. There was the pattern. In short, what is also indicated in the book, in short, the minimum lower retracement started from everything. The pivot is now testing exactly, in short, the minimum exactly of this one here. The aligning, so 54, 50, 54, 5.5 is the area to monitor. The potential holding of this level could then provide the push exactly, in short, downward, or in short, the breaking of this level could certainly lead prices, in short, to also return, in short, to a test of highs. We will see, in short, everything is obviously tied to this scenario of guys that, in short, in definition, no one yet knows how it will end. What agreements will they have reached? I hope they manage to find them as soon as possible to provide peace of mind to everyone. Perfect. We have also reached the end of this morning today. Briefing, as always, utmost caution. Guys, I remind you again. I invite you, as always, to leave a like on the video, follow me on social media, and we'll catch up later in the chat. Thank you all for your attention.